What is up, traders? Holy cow, dude, we got Bitcoin breaking out to new all-time highs. We got the Fed minutes, and then Mr. Powell with his little speech got everything moving around. Got a lot to talk about in today's video. I didn't put out a video last night. I apologize for that. My days get extremely busy sometimes, guys. So we're going to do one tonight. And also, I'm going to take a look at the UK100 for this kind gentleman right here. I don't want to try to pronounce your name because I'd be so incredibly embarrassed if I butchered it. So we're going to check that out in tonight's video. Please stick around. What's up, traders? My name is Heath, and this is Trade Talk. So today we got a lot of stuff going on, man. It's a great day. Bitcoin is just going absolutely bananas. We got the euro going bananas for the Fed Chair Powell speech in the minutes. I'm also going to check out the UK100, but first we got to discuss Bitcoin and the euro. I got long on the euro, as you can see right there. This thing, man, is going crazy. All the YouTube shills are out in full force tonight, selling everything they can sell you. Guys, just remember, 90% of traders fail. That means 90% of everybody, even the YouTubers, including me. You gotta trust, but you gotta verify. All right, with all that being said, we have a strong closure on an 8-hour basis above the all-time high, which is right here. Massively strong close. That is what you want to see. That is indicative of a real, true breakout. Why is this thing going ape shit? Well, you have short sellers stuck right here and stuck from the old all-time high just below 20K. You have those people, and then you have Michael Saylor buying almost $1 billion worth of Bitcoin and PayPal and all these other companies that are starting to invest in this thing. It's going to go bananas. And the short sellers squeeze is what I'm going to just go ahead and say is going on right now. And when will it stop? Well, simply it'll stop when they stop. When they stop trying to short it, or we have scorched all their stops. One way or the other, we are moving up, and it is a beautiful thing. So basically, we broke out of the all-time high, all of my levels. So what do I do when there is no more levels to dictate? Well, we know it's going up. So basically, we just come over here to our little trend-based fib extension. That's what you can use if you want. The way you use this is I want to use this swing low here to this swing high, and then down to this swing low. And that's one leg of a bullish trend. So basically, you just anchor the bottom of that fib extension to the low, and then anchor it again to the high, and then come down here to your other low and anchor it there. And that'll give you an extension. So basically, these fib extensions will just give traders targets, places where they might want to exit the trade. I don't use these things, guys, because once again, I don't trade Bitcoin. I only buy it. I trade crypto. I trade other crypto pairs, and I trade Forex, and I got plenty of stuff to trade. I trade options, stocks, you name it, I trade it. So I only buy Bitcoin. Bitcoin's a long-term hold for me, and I'm not selling for a very long time. I think this thing is going to go bananas once everybody really fully understands its potential. So basically, you can just look up here. We don't have any market structures to gauge right now because it's up in uncharted territory. So guys, just keep that in mind. You can draw a semi-quasi trend line here, possibly. I mean, if you want, you can anchor it off of this low instead, like that. And then if any time in the future you get a test back down to this level or the previous all-time high, you can look for support to hold there. Or if you get your fib extension lines up and out, you can watch for support, resistance, and support holds. So moving on, let's go ahead and check out the UK 100. So I did a little bit of stuff on this yesterday because my intention was to put out a video last night. It just got so entirely late, I just scrapped it and said wait till tomorrow. This thing is moving up. Let's go out to a monthly real quick just to give you a little bit of what's going on. So I anchored from this high here and this high, and then on the low side of the range, I anchored from there and there. And basically you have this ascending channel on a monthly chart. So moving on into a daily chart, you can see that I have this one market structure low here off of this close of this bearish candle, and price has moved away. Now these are 8-hour lines, so let me just flip over there real quick and see where I got these. I don't know where I got that, but let's just move it up where it's supposed to be, right there. So basically you pushed up and you broke above this market structure here and closed, came back down, tested it, closed. We are currently moving higher. The next area to get a break above, a close above, I'm sorry, is going to be the 6600 spot 0, $6,600. You want to see an 8-hour closure there, and then ultimately your target is going to be 6641 spot 20, which is this high here. Now if you start closing 8-hour candles back below these structure area lines, like for instance this one at 6568 spot 0, you can look for a test of 6512 spot 60 to come into play, which is the bottom side of this little swing low. So basically you have a move up, you have a pullback, and then we are resuming up off of that pullback. So this is your swing high and then your swing low, and it's moving up. Now you can get to trading in a range or whatever, but just watch these levels here. These levels will keep you on the right side of the market. And remember, we wait for closures, guys. You cannot judge a candle before it closes. You must wait on that close. It will build patience and ultimately will help you become more consistent in your trading. So we're going to move on. Let's go to the top, EURUSD. All right, so with Fed Chair Powell's speech today, initially with the minutes, when the 2 o'clock minutes came out, we've seen a push down in the EURUSD all the way down to here. Now I entered right on this white line, which is this market structure high here, and I wasn't necessarily looking at this market structure, guys, to take that entry. I'm going to go over to the DXY because that's what I was watching. I was watching the DXY index during all of that. I wasn't watching the EURUSD. But when we started to push up and we started taking out these highs, I immediately went over to EURUSD and found the next relevant market structure that I could anchor a buy limit order at. And because I was looking at this and I was looking at this to hold support, because ultimately, or resistance, I apologize, because ultimately the news that we got today was more bearish for the dollar. So I was going into the trade assuming that this was just a push up to clear out some liquidity, hit some stops to build up some orders for the real push in the opposite direction. So going back to EURUSD, I apologize for the squeaky chair and the pounds on the desk, as I am working on getting a stand for this mic. However, back to the analysis, this was a target. You can see we hit that last night while I was asleep, and I didn't get involved here, guys. This was a target. I gotta leave that line there because it's relevant for what I'm about to talk about, but we did have this market structure here and we pushed up. Now coming into that minutes, I found this market structure over here because we were already pushing below this one, and then this right here, I said in my own head, the way I was thinking about the trade, we could possibly going down lower to purge the stops under here. So initially when I took the trade, I just put my stop 10 pips from this low here, and I entered there. So it was a super wide, a lot wider of a stop than I generally go for initially. But as soon as we push down into this line, like I said, my entry is dead even with that line at 1.21313. That is my entry, dead even. Now my stop is just below this thing here, and I'm looking for this high to be broke because, like I said, the news we got is ultimately bearish on the dollar. So I'm assuming with Bitcoin madness and everything, everybody's getting stoked, man. They're buying riskier assets. So I'm only looking and expecting more bullishness on the dollar pairs. Now, eventually, I do think that's going to come to an end because this stuff is pretty stretched out. It's pretty overextended. But I keep trading. When I trade these levels like this, guys, that keeps me on the right side of the market, and it keeps me going in the direction of the trend. Pound dollar is basically done the same thing. Now on my weekly outlook video, I was talking about these levels here to watch for closures above them. We got that. Now this push down was brutal, but ultimately if you would have waited for the close like I preach on these videos, you would have been fine on this trade and you are good to go still. So just keep looking out. The next market structure area to look for a retest, which we got today, but it could still come back into play, is 1.34,600. 1.34,600. Now you can also put one on the top of this little bullish candle here that doesn't have much of a body. I don't do that. I just use this because this is the last most relevant market structure swing high. Okay, so basically that's why it's a market structure level. This was an old high that we were looking to target. You can clearly see that we got that, and we've tested it a couple times, and we have moved higher. So basically going forward on this pair, what I'm looking for is I want to see another 8-hour closure above this level here, which is supposed to be right there, and that is 1.35030. Another 8-hour closure above that, you can look for a higher target, meaning this high here, and that high is going to be roughly at 1.35548. S&P 500, everything's bullish. It's just moving higher and higher and making new highs and higher lows and higher highs. That's what it's doing. So we keep looking for bullishness. You want to retest of an area. This is going to be your level there. I don't really, basically we could probably go down to a smaller time frame real quick just to get something going, and right here is going to be probably it. If not, then this candle here. Either one of those is fine. I like to use the last down closing candle before the high gets taken out, or vice versa on the downside, the last up closing candle. So this line here is going to offer up more support, and it is currently holding support here, but this is an hourly chart. Basically, you want to see another 8-hour closure above that level, and that level is 37.0180. You get a closure below that, you're going back to test 36.94.80, and on and on and on. Gold did what we looked for, man. I put that video out, said that if we got 8-hour closure below this area, we were going to be targeting a low. This candle came down, boom, beautiful, perfect. That's what we're looking for. Next area to target is going to be this high up here at 1875.100. Currently, you do have this purple line was an old market structure, I believe. Currently, you do have a push up and a closure above. So what you want to see on this next 8-hour candle is you want to see it push down to here and close above at 18.57.287. You get that? You can look for this target here at 18.7530. If you start closing 8-hour candles below this area here, which is going to be 1847.7071, you can look for a lower test. Ultimately, I would look for that test to be right here at 1833.603. But everything looks bullish. Everything's flying high. Aussie yen. Now, Aussie yen is showing a bit of weakness. It's showing an inability to close above this level for now. Okay, this candle just got started, or it's got 5 hours left on it, so it's not even halfway old yet. So you want to see a closure above that. That level is 78.462 right here. You get an 8-hour closure above that, you're going to be targeting this high here at 78.784. You get an 8-hour closure below this, then we're going back down to test first this top of this candle here, or not the top, but the closure of that bullish candle at 78.248, and then lower. This low is 78.132. And Aussie New Zealand, we hit targets on Aussie New Zealand this week also. This was the high, or this one here. I can't remember, guys, exactly when it was. I know that it was one of these two highs. Pretty sure it was this one here. We pushed down, we got a closure above, and then we took out that target. And now we are holding above this market structure here, right here. So we're closing 8-hour candles above it. We do have a longer term trend line, I will show you what I did real quick, because this thing is trending downward. So until you get a closure above this, and since this is a weekly trend line, I want to see a weekly close above. So the area that I want to see a weekly close above to reinforce that this thing has possibly done a trend change is going to be this trend line and this area right there at 1.07169. You get a weekly closure above both of those areas, then I will buy a retest. This is not financial advice. This is ramblings of a madman. Never forget that. Never forget that. And silver is strong, pushing up. We were closing. I don't know what's going on here, man. Trading View, what is wrong with you? You're supposed to be my boy. You're supposed to keep these levels straight. Anyways, so we did push above here, this market structure here, and we got 5 hours left to close. If you close here or higher, it's testing this little trend line. It's nothing major. You get an 8-hour closure above that, and this high is your target. Well, this is the target now. It's reaching for now. But when is this target no longer validated? When are you no longer looking to target that? If you get an 8-hour oh wait, shit, we're on the weekly. My bad, guys. Oh wow, I gotta cut all that out. So this is very odd. On a weekly chart, it looks like we're below the trend line, but on an 8-hour chart, we are clearly above it. Strange. All right, so you have broken out above this trend line, and it's relevant. I mean, I can see it here. So we have broken out above this trend line here, which is good. Basically, you want to see a retest of this area, but you want to see an 8-hour hold at about this level there at 24.69. That's this area here. Test of this trend line would be ideal. Ultimately, your next area to target is going to be 25.71, which is this area here. You start closing 8-hour candles below this white line at 24.69, and then this trend line, you're going back down to test this area here at 24.22 right here. Okay. And finally, USDCAD. USDCAD is slowly pushing down. It looks like it's trying to regroup here, but with that dollar bearishness we got today. But this thing is still closing. Well, it didn't close above. It closed right on this area here. So we're looking to see if this wants to push up and take out this high at 1.27898. Or are we going to continue this long, way overextended downtrend? I'm staying away from this pair, guys, because it's so overextended. I'm in EURUSD, and I know it sounds kind of counterintuitive, but I don't want to be buying really overextended plays and selling really overextended plays. I don't want to put all of my trades on areas like that, which is why I have Aussie, New Zealand, and silver, and all these other things up here, because these offer more opportunities, in my opinion, because you aren't so overextended. So stay away from USDCAD. If you can't stay away from USDCAD because you're a trader-aholic, then you want to see an 8-hour closure above this area here, which is 1.27640. You get that? The next test is going to be this high at 1.27898, and then ultimately your next area of resistance is going to be 1.28190. That's on the long side. On the short side, you close an 8-hour candle below 1.27400. You're heading down to 1.27205, which is this line here. And you get an 8-hour closure below that. It looks like they'll be trying to target this low, or at least this area here at 1.26990. So I hope that does it, or that does it. I hope that helps. Bitcoin, man, I just can't take my eyes off of it. It's just so bullish, and I do expect some more bullishness, guys, because this thing is it's going bananas. So just remember the little trick with the fib extension there. If you need targets, if you're looking to sell, I am not, but if you are, that's a nifty little tool to do it. So with that, I'll talk to you next time. Happy trading, guys.